Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn, and I'm your astrologer. I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming full moon in Capricorn occurring on June the 24th. This happens at 3 degrees of Capricorn, and the moon will be exactly opposite the sun at 3 degrees of Cancer. We are in Cancer season now. Cancer season began when the sun moved into Cancer on the 20th, just a few days ago, on the summer solstice. And so this is the midpoint of the year. And this full moon in Capricorn is the fourth full moon, supermoon, that we have had in a row. And so a really heightened time to take a moment of reprieve in this Capricorn earth energy. I believe that this full moon is much like the calm between two storms or between two T squares, if you will. We just had the Cancer new moon on June the 10th, and during that new moon, we had a really strong T square involving Saturn. So, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And all year long, Saturn has been locked into this square to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is our rebel of change, the ruler of Aquarius, the age that we are headed into, this advanced, higher thinking, collective, unified era of change that we are all trying to move into after really the stallion moved through Capricorn during 2020. So here we are at this midpoint of the year following 2020, when those structures of Capricorn were really demolished. And so we've spent so much of this year already really looking and assessing the wreckage of the past to see what no longer deserves salvaging, and really started to create or at least formulate some ideas of some new structures for our future as we move on into this new higher thinking in the wake of a pandemic. And so, with Saturn being the ruler of this full moon, and Saturn being in Aquarius, in this square to Uranus, who is the ruler of Aquarius, on that June 10th new moon, what we had was Venus and Mars conjoined in the sign of Cancer. And they, excuse me, Venus and Mars and Cancer were opposing Saturn in Aquarius in this T square to Uranus. And here we are at this full moon on the 24th. And then just a few days after this lunation on the 27th, we will have another really tense aspect in the form of a T square. And this time the moon will be conjoined to Saturn, opposing Mars, now in Leo, in this square to Uranus, with this ongoing tense aspect between Saturn and Uranus. So we're in this wake between two tense T squares at this full moon in Capricorn. And this can really be a good time to just ground ourselves into just being at peace. There are some wonderful aspects offering spiritual support where we can feel comforted. We've had a lot of emotion to move through since last year, and it has been very tense. We just finished Mercury retrograde. Actually, Mercury stations retrograde today on the 24th and moving back through Gemini, where it'll go back across the transiting North Node of Destiny. And so we've just finished up this Mercury retrograde transit, where we've really been analyzing and trying to come up with some logical ideas on our review of the past, and take that into consideration as we create new structures for our future. We want something that's going to stick and stay, to last, and Saturn wants to support us in that. So during this full moon, Neptune stations retrograde on the 25th, the day after, at 23 degrees of Pisces. Now, Jupiter just stationed retrograde in Pisces on the 13th. So both of these, Jupiter and Neptune, are the rulers of Pisces, the 12th house realm, the angelic realm, the spiritual realm of infinite divine possibilities of blessings. And so Jupiter was the ancient ruler of Pisces prior to the discovery of Neptune. And so with them both retrograding through Pisces, this really can give us an energy of feeling very spiritually held, comforted, almost like a feeling of peacefulness, blissfulness, where we can just really disengage from all of the information that's been circulating, that we've been reviewing with all of the eclipses, removing things from our lives, and the Mercury retrograde, bringing up things from the past, and now all of these other planets that are outer planets that are retrograding. This is a time during this full moon where we can just take a reprieve, just take a minute and ground into disengaging, just ground into nature. It is an earth sign, and Capricorn knows in order to finish the course, to stay steadfast, that it's really important to practice self-care at this time. Saturn is also retrograding, and so when Saturn is in retrograde, Saturn is our taskmaster, and Saturn is the ruler of this full moon. It's a time where we are really called to stand on our own 2 feet and do what we need to support ourselves. And so right now is a time when we really want to settle into that vibration of the spiritual realm, really connect with nature, really connect with our source creator, with love. There's a very optimistic energy with Jupiter retrograding through Pisces with Neptune, showing us that we have always been held and we will continue to be held, and that really everything is going to be all right if we choose to operate in that belief system. Jupiter is purging the truth of our sovereignty. Our sovereign truth is being revamped through this retrograde. And so what Capricorn is asking us to do right now is to look at the wreckage of the past and all that's crumbled, and take a look at the ideas that are coming into play with our collaborations with others, in our own minds, and ask ourselves if this is something that's going to support us for the future. Is this also something that's going to support our freedom, our sovereign freedom, according to the truth of our beliefs, which we've had a great opportunity to review during the eclipse season, during Mercury retrograde, during all these outer planets, Pluto, Saturn, now Neptune, and Jupiter retrograding. And so another thing that's going to be happening during this full moon, a tense aspect, is that Pluto, the planet of our soul's transformation, our evolutionary growth in this lifetime, Pluto's at 26 degrees of Capricorn, really late degrees of Capricorn, and will be opposing Venus at 26 degrees of Cancer. Venus is really comfortable at Cancer. Venus is the planet that rules what we value in terms of romance, resources, love, and money, what makes us feel abundant, what makes us feel comforted, what makes us feel nurtured, what do we love, how do we feel at home. And so with this tense opposition during this full moon, with Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, opposing Venus in Cancer, this can really challenge us to move out of our comfort zone. This can be a time where we look at the habits in our lives, in our homes, where we're comfortable, that maybe aren't the best for us anymore. And as Pluto is retrograding through the past, through the old structures, through the old lineage, the old programs, even ancestry and upbringing, it's really purging up the truth of what no longer serves us, old habits, because, you know, the 12th house is escapism potentially. And so all of these 12th house themes are being brought to light. So with Pluto retrograding in Capricorn in this opposition to Venus, we're really being challenged to make some changes as we review the past. And one of them is to comfort ourselves with this Venus in Cancer really to give ourselves an emotional break. There's a lot of water energy at play. There's a lot of emotion being stirred. Water signs do rule our emotions. The moon is the divine mother, the ruler of our emotions in our natal chart. And with, Jupiter sextiling the moon and then a square to the sun in Cancer, um, Capricorn Moon, Cancer Sun, and now this opposition between Pluto and Venus, it really stirs up a lot of emotional past. And so we're really being called to give ourselves a break, to forgive ourselves, forgive others, and let go of those things that have come up as of late that perhaps have made us feel a little grief or a little kind of down on ourselves for the decisions that we've made, and allow ourselves that same comfort that we desire from our own mothers and mother our own selves during this time, and say, you know what, I can learn from that and I can do things differently. And now let's manifest something according to my new values and give myself a break. So, this is a time to really nurture ourselves, perhaps even be around a water element. I highly encourage anyone to get out in nature during this Capricorn moon. Really, really positive aspects with Jupiter now retrograding in Pisces, is sextiling the moon in Capricorn and trining the sun in Cancer. And so these are really expanding our emotions in positive ways, in supportive ways. These are harmonious connections to that water element. Another echoing theme that we are spiritually held and that we can move through this process, even though we feel we are in the middle of some tense storms that are brewing. This is a time to recharge. This is a time to release. This is a time to let go. It's the closure, the completion, the culmination of really the past that we've been moving through. Um, Especially since last year, with all of these planets at play in a stellium and Capricorn, dissolving those past structures. And so, really allowing ourselves um, to nurture ourselves during this time, to connect with our spiritual source, and to really feel that heightened ability to tune into our senses, to feel the subtleties of spirit, to trust our instincts with Neptune retrograding and Jupiter retrograding in Pisces. Our psychic abilities, our intuitive abilities are really magnified right now. And so this is a time to really tune into that and trust that. And so I just wanted to take a minute and just touch base and say you're not alone. Everyone's going through this together. And I hope that during this full moon, that it will be a recharge time, just like we recharge and clear our crystals during a full moon. Let's clear and recharge ourselves. Let's tap into that connection with our higher power, with source energy, with the spiritual vibration that's permeating during this lunation, and really put ourselves in a place of feeling comforted, blessed, and almost we can really even feel a degree of blissfulness during this time, a time of recharge. And so I hope that this has given you all a positive outlook on the aspects at play, even the tense ones. They challenge changes in a very positive way for the future. And really important that we have responsible action of growth with the decisions that we're making right now. Saturn is requiring us to move forward with responsibility. As we're looking back over the past and the things that we're letting go of, we want to really be sure that we're doing this from a logical, analytical mind as much as we can, with all of this nebulous Neptune fog going on in the background. We really want to think about what has been brought up and analyze our ideas and make sure that we're operating from as much of a place of logic as we can when we're making our decisions on what to eliminate, what to let go, and what to hang on to, what to revamp, and what to create for our future. Because Saturn really wants us to grow responsibly. And if we are willing to do that, if we are willing to make as much as we can educated, logical, responsible decisions for our future, Saturn promises to support us in that for the long haul and allow Jupiter to expand these blessings beyond our belief, beyond our comprehension. It's limitless possibilities of divine inspiration. And so I wish you all the happiest of full moon blessings. Bye bye.